Welcome back. This is still Studio 5, and today we're going to talk to Alice Dearing, who happens to be a Ghanaian, a British Ghanaian, I should say. Her mom is Ghanaian, her dad is British, born and raised in London.
Birmingham, actually.
Birmingham.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so Alice, good to have you in the studio.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Alice, now, how did you get into swimming? 18 years
Yes,
plus
yeah.
swimming?
So I learned to swim when I was about 4 years old.
Okay.
Then moved into competitive swimming when I was 8 years old. And it was because my mum saw the notice board for the local swimming club at the pool I was learning to swim at. And she needed me and my second eldest brother to pick up some kind of sport. And she just felt like swimming was a natural step.
Mm.
So we went along one session a week initially, and for both of us, we just fell in love with it. It blossomed into something really special. So, and eventually I've been in the sport for 18 years competitively,
Wow.
which just sounds crazy to say out loud. Like, never expected it to go that far, to get to the Olympics, to swim for Britain. So, I was just really grateful that my career panned out in such a beautiful way.
At what point did you say to yourself, I'm getting out of the swimming pool and then get into the marathon? Swimming in open waters, that's different from swimming in the pool.
Yeah. So I was always good at the distance events in the pool. I did the 200 meters butterfly, the 400 IM, and then the distance freestyle events. And when I was 16 years old, they gave me the opportunity to do an open water race. And it was a competition in Portugal. And I was like, oh, going to Portugal would be lovely. Like, I had no idea, like, the open water was as challenging as that. I was very naive. And I'm actually really happy I was naive, because I got into it not knowing what to expect.
Okay.
And it was the hardest thing I'd ever done in my life. It's just like I was completely dead after it. And I got out and said, oh, I'm never doing that again. Like, I don't need to do that. I'll stick to the pool. And they were like, oh, no, like, we want you to do it. You did really well. The next race that we're going to take you to is half the distance. So it'll only be a 5K. And I was like, oh, I can do a 5K. And I went along to that 5 kilometer race, and it was the European Junior Championships. And I actually ended up winning it.
Oh, wow. Which year was it?
2013. So
Nice.
it's good time ago. But so it just ended up being like, okay, I'm naturally quite good at this. Let's persevere with this. Let's be resilient and see what we can get out of it.
So how did you qualify for Tokyo?
Qualification for Tokyo, it was in June 2021. So it was only about 6 weeks out from the games itself.
Okay.
I think we were one of the very last sports to qualify. And they'd already selected 10 people from the World Championships in 2019. And this was the second round of qualification.
Okay.
So 10K race, again in Portugal, actually, which is quite a nice full circle
Portugal
moment.
seems to be your thing, huh?
It is, yeah. I guess it's got quite a good open water scene, but the sea's rough. The sea was quite rough. And it was a race that I knew a little bit, so just had to be, again, very resilient. And I came fourth in that race, qualified for the Olympics. And, finally touching that finish pad at the end of a 10K is satisfying in itself. It takes the elite women about 2 hours to complete. But touching the finish pad to qualify for the Olympics was just something so special.
Staying in the water for 2 hours. Now that is something. What do you eat? What's your ritual? I mean, if you have to do 10K
10K
for 2 hours and stay in the water for that long, what do you do? How did you prepare yourselves for those days?
The preparation is a lot of carbohydrates, a lot of rice, a lot of pasta, a lot of potatoes. End up bloating quite a lot, I'm not going to lie. It's not comfortable.
Really?
Yeah. It's a lot of water intake as well. Obviously, you need to stay hydrated. During the race, we have feeders who stand on a pontoon with like a 5-meter long pole with cup holders on the end. And you swim along and you pick up your drink and you drink it and then you swim off.
Wow.
And so you don't stop. You don't need to take any like solid substance on. You can just use like liquid substance. But it's a very tough and physical race, both mentally and physically. Yeah.
Wow, you're very strong to swim for 2 hours, girl. I don't think I can do it for 5 minutes, and you do it for 2 hours. Well, let's get into Tokyo. You came out 19. What was the experience like? You came up against pros, people who had competed in world championships, 10 of them. You saw them, right? They were like, okay, are we doing this? What was it like?
Tokyo was an amazing experience. I'm disappointed with my performance, I'm not gonna lie. Obviously, it was 3 years ago now. It's still that one point where you know, I wish I could have done better. I wish I did do better. And that was my driving fuel for Paris. Unfortunately, Paris didn't happen for me. And that's the nature of sport sometimes. You know, you can be in the best shape of your life. You can be training well, but sometimes on the day, it just doesn't work out for you. And I think that's the kind of the beauty of sport sometimes. You can do everything right, and then it
might just not be
your
your
day. Exactly.
Yeah, it
And it happened to me with Tokyo, and you know, got out, was very upset, but you know, to still compete and qualify for Team GB and to represent my country, but also to help make history. I was the first Black woman to swim for Team GB at an Olympic Games.
So proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
So proud of you.
I'm trying to fly the flag for as many people to get into swimming as possible. It's a tough sport, I'm not gonna lie, it's a tough activity, but it is a life skill. It's a vital life skill, and so many people have been told it's not for them, or that we should stick to athletics or basketball or football, which are obviously great sports. I'm not having a go at those, but swimming is a life skill, and I really want everyone to be able to enjoy it and embrace it and have that just in case they need it. I hope you never need to use it like that, but if you need to know how to swim, you need to know how to swim.
You need to know. It is good. You have to learn. Because now in schools here in Ghana, in primary schools, a lot of schools have taken up swimming, you know, yes, a lot of them. And one of the schools I know will be Destiny. They, in fact, from the toddlers to, you know, the upper classes, they all swim.
Oh, good.
They all swim. They have different days. I think some of the younger kids swim on Wednesday, and then the bigger kids swim on Friday. So,
that's amazing.
yes, so that's something that they do. But let's get into what caused you to retire, and then we will get into what brought you into Ghana from there on.
Thank you.
So, why did you retire?
So truthfully, I was aiming to qualify for Paris Olympics. Didn't happen for me. Again, kind of a similar thing to Tokyo. Just the day just wasn't my day, and I got out of the race and was just like, I knew I was done. You know, I felt like I've achieved a lot in the sport. I've gone for many more years than I ever anticipated to. There have been many times where I've wanted to quit, thought about quitting, actually taken time away from the sport to see if that's what I wanted. Always found my way back to it. Sorry. Always found my way back to it. But this race, I just knew this was me done. And it was sad because I didn't feel ready, because I did want to qualify for Paris, and then I felt like I'd be ready after Paris. But yeah, everything happens for a reason. I'm a big believer of that. And I've since gone on to other exciting things, which I'm sure we'll talk about in a second.
Yes, I've seen a lot of goodwill messages. I think you had an interview with Sky Sports or so, and you know, a lot of goodwill messages.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
And as you rightfully said, it was unexpected, but you said you will do what you have done in the sport in a heartbeat. You will not, you know.
I'll do it all over again.
Yes, you'll do it all over again. And so, retiring from the sport, now you're into another space, another phase, which you told the rest of the world about. So share with us, what's the next phase for you?
Yeah, so I'm looking into like a range of things at the moment. I'd love to be a broadcast presenter like yourself.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a cool job.
You can do it. You can do it. You can do it.
I'm trying. I'm exploring all avenues, seeing what's available. Continue my advocacy work with the Black Swimming Association. It's a charity that I co-founded in the UK, where we are.
How is it going?
It's going really well. It's going
awesome.
really well. Thank you. Yeah, we're advocating for the safety primarily and the inclusion of Black and Asian communities and minorities in swimming. And
I think I saw a story on the diversity in Great Britain's swimming, I think for the Olympic team this year as well.
Yes. There's another a Black woman. Another Black woman's also qualified. Eva Cario. So it's great. Yeah, there's a lot of talent coming through, but also with the BSA, we're looking at the kind of the people who don't even know swimming's an option, you know, who might have had a traumatic experience in the past and need to be brought back to the water in a safe way that's safe for them physically, but also mentally. So there's a lot of programs like that. We've taken about 450 people through this program, and it delivers them in a position where they are at least ready to learn to swim, if not swimming already.
Okay.
So it's going so well. But yeah, but then beside that as well, I'm in Ghana, in Accra, to launch Swim with Your Meaning. And it is a global initiative to encourage everyone to discover what swimming is for them. And we've partnered with Achimota School to take 15 of their students and 5 of their staff through a 10-week Learn to Swim program.
Okay.
And, we just launched it on Saturday. And
how did it go?
I thought it went really well.
Awesome.
I could see there was some trepidation, a little bit of nerves, a little bit of anxiety from some of the swimmers, or some of the students, I should say. But when they got in the water, the smiles on their faces, and when they got out, they were so happy. I could tell they really enjoyed it. And I'm so excited to see their journey over the next 9 weeks. We unfortunately won't be able to see it in person, but we're like, can you send us videos? Let us know how it's getting on. So
they have coaches who are going to take them through, right?
Exactly. Yeah, there are two teachers who we've collaborated with from Accra, and I think it's going to be a really special program.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. So, Achimota School, is there anything else happening in Ghana for you?
Not at the moment. Sorry.
Okay, right.
Not at the moment.
Okay.
But we're using this program with Achimota School as kind of the trial run, pilot test, as to
build on it.
Exactly, yeah. So we have started with quite a small number. I would have loved to have came in and said, 500 people, let's get you all swimming, let's move through this.
Baby steps. Okay, yes, so these are pictures from Achimota School.
Honestly, they were all so lovely. It's really special.
That's awesome.
And we really want to build on this, both this collaboration, but also my knowledge of Ghana, to see, okay, what works for Accra, what works for this community here. Because Swim with Your Meaning is about taking swimming to different communities around the world and reflecting what those communities need.
Of course, so if there's for example, if you had to go to Cape Coast, for example, then you would do open swimming rather than, because there's a sea, which is, there for free. So that's what you're looking at. You're not just looking at the swimming pool, but open water, whatever is available for you, just swim.
Yeah, it's getting that knowledge and the kind of the safety aspect to make sure like the people don't drown. In Britain, I can speak from the UK stats that Black children are 3.5 times more likely to drown than white children, as in the statistics are.
Why? Why is that so?
I think it's in part with some of the stereotypes that we see from, that our bones are too dense, the issues of hair and skincare, which have just been repeated over so many generations, sadly, that we've arrived at a place where swimming's not seen as something that Black people do. And I really need to, I feel like I need to challenge this. I need to raise this point that it is a life skill.
It is a life skill.
You shouldn't ever just jump into water and like try to learn to swim. Please get a teacher. That's one thing I really want to stress. Please have a swimming teacher or a lifeguard. Never just jump into water. It's very dangerous. But we need to, it's such a great facility. Sorry.
So this was the event?
Yeah. This is the pool at Achimota. It's just such a great pool. It's gonna provide so many opportunities for these students.
For these children. Amazing. But talk about this generation, the younger ones that are coming up. Have you been following the likes of Abeku Jackson and so on and so forth? He
had an amazing performance at the African Games, didn't he?
Yeah, the African Games. Yeah,
and already 2-time Olympian. I think Paris is definitely on his sights and his cards. So I think it could be a really exciting time for Ghana with swimming. We've been in talks with the Ghanaian Swim Association, so I'm hoping some collaboration can happen there. And I've came to Ghana because my mum's Ghanaian. I feel attached in through my mum. I'm very close with my mum. I'm very proud of her. She's done everything for me. She's the one getting up at 4:30 in the morning with me to take me training.
To take your training.
Yeah, she's really done the most. She's really done the most. So I've came to Ghana to hopefully inspire something in more people, but also to give people that opportunity which I was given. And I was given that because of a Ghanaian woman. So
That's
it just
right.
feels natural to come and give back in some way.
Awesome.
Thank you.
So this was when you were
Yeah,
signing the papers.
Yes, yeah.
Awesome.
Bachata.
Awesome. I'm glad. I'm sure it will blossom into, something big in the
really hope so.
future. It will
Thank
be
you.
awesome because once some of the students start, the next time, it will be 20 more joining them.
Yes.
And then it will be 30 more joining them. And
Exactly.
then the number job,
It's going to grow.
Can we listen? Or maybe we just have to.
Yeah, I was basically just talking about how I'm setting up Swim with Your Meaning.
Okay.
And we had a lot of interest from the school. There are a lot of applications came back to us, and I was kind of like, I'm really sorry, I can only pick 20 at the moment. We are definitely planning on coming back. The whole point of it being a small number is so it's sustainable.
Baby steps.
Yes, exactly. Because I'm not coming here to be like, oh, we've done this, get all this content, have a press run, have amazing opportunities like this to speak to yourself, and then just disappear. That's absolutely not the case. We, as a team with Swim with Your Meaning, are looking to make lasting change.
Yeah,
and we're committed to that.
Awesome. So, esports.
Esports.
What are you doing? Esports happen to be your new baby now.
I've always loved gaming, and I suppose it's that thing of like being an athlete, the competitive side, and then I found out about esports. It may be, I think 2008 was when I first really knew about it, but then I got into it a bit more as I got older and started to follow it a bit better. So I'm on the British Esports Advisory Board.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's cool.
I was just about saying you could probably go to the World Championships or something.
Absolutely not. No, I'm nowhere near that good.
These kids are just something else.
Yeah, I played against some Fortnite pros, so and the skill that they have is just insane. Like I'm incomparable, and I was just like, you shoot at them, and then they're suddenly like 10 feet up in the air with these buildings. Yeah.
And esports is really growing here in Ghana, and recently the association, they've been accepted, and so they can compete, on a global level if they're ready. So esport is the next thing, but. For the kids out there who probably know, let's start with the kids who know how to swim, because there are quite a number of kids out there who know how to swim. What advice would you give them? Then we'll go into the kids who do not. Okay. And even the adults who don't know how to swim.
So for anyone out there who does know how to swim and wants to keep going or take it further or take it to the next level, I'd say always make sure you're enjoying it. For me in my career, there were many times in it I didn't enjoy it. I'm always very honest about this. The training aspects really challenged me mentally. I really had to dig deep and find my dedication and really persevere. But find the joy in it when you can. And sometimes it's hard, sometimes it's difficult, but whatever you're working towards, that goal will be worth it. And even if you don't hit that goal, the effort of trying, the effort of putting in, you will always benefit from that. You will always feel, okay, at least I tried. And that doesn't sound like a lot, but trust me, when you're stood there and you might have failed from your goal, you can say, at least I committed to it.
That's right. And for those who are yet to learn how to swim,
let's learn how to swim. Please find a teacher. I mean that sincerely. Find a teacher, find someone out there. There will be someone who has the capabilities to teach you how to swim that you have a rapport with, that you'll build. And especially for adults, it can be quite a challenging process just because you're obviously, these are this is some footage from the swim.
Okay.
The Swim with Your Meaning launch on Saturday.
That's nice.
Yeah,
That's
honestly,
nice.
It's and there's the two swim teachers, we've got the staff there, But especially for adults, it can be quite a humbling experience where you're in the water and you kind of have to be taken back, but that's okay. That's absolutely natural, and you shouldn't be ashamed of that. Just get in and try. Find that teacher. Get your classes. Like I said before, please don't just jump into water. Have a teacher. But I really want to encourage everyone out there. If you don't know how to swim, please, if you have the resources, please try.
All right, Alice, it's been wonderful having you on the show. But before you go, which Ghanaian meal have you enjoyed?
I've enjoyed red. I've been having a lot of red and plantain. Yeah, I'm yet to try fufu. I need to get on it, but every time
Celia needs to give you some. She needs to cook it. Make sure she cooks it. She doesn't cook it or eat it.
She's just there like, oh, I'm not looking.
Alice, thank you very much for joining us
Thank
here
you
on
for
the
having
show. We
me.
wish you all the best. Please keep us
you.
posted
I will, definitely.
as
I'll
to
be
what's
back.
happening.
Thank you.
We're glad to have an Olympian,
Oh,
an
thank
open
you.
water
Thank
Olympian
you.
on the show
So
today. We appreciate you. And Ghana's proud of you, Mother Ellie.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, so that's it. We're wrapping it up on this segment. Remember, if Alice was able to do it, you can do it, whatever it is that you do. My name is Gloria Pepra. We're wrapping it up here on the segment. We're back with more here on Studio 5.